Alright, welcome back everyone. Today I'm going to show you how you can hire cold callers and pay them on booked appointments only. So let's get into this.
Making cold calls.
Alright, just a couple things before we go into it any more in detail. So cold calling just still remains one of the most effective ways you can still generate new meetings. So hiring a skilled cold caller ensures consistent flow of prospects and helps you scale your outbound efforts. So this guide will outline the best practices for hiring, training, managing, as well as how much you should pay, what you should look out for. I'm going to give you some frameworks as well that you can use, some templates when it comes to hiring. So let's get into it. But first, a few consideration before you actually go out and hire people. All right. So why cold callers? To increase lead generation and appointment bookings. It also is good for diversification as well, because if you're only doing just one type of outreach strategy, if it's email, trust me, cold calling works wonderfully, and especially in industries which don't really work well with other outbound strategies. Like, for example, in our case, if we're helping agtech companies reach out to farmers, usually is the best way to go because everybody has a phone number, right? So it allows closer focus on high value prospects. You can scale this as well systematically. And what a lot of people tend to overlook, right, is they devalue the conversation, right? Like you could send someone an email as well, sure, but calling them and talking with them on the phone is just so much more powerful. All right, so just some few qualities of a great cold caller. All right, so they should have fluent English, clear and confident speech, resilience. They should have the ability to handle objections and persist when they come up. They should have good listening skills. So the ability to understand and address the objections and persist upon them. All right. Charisma. So engage with the prospect with enthusiasm. Finally, just they need to have a little bit of sales experience.
You finally found a broker on Wall
The prior cold calling experience or sales experience is obviously preferred. If they have all these qualities, it's much likely that they're going to ask a lot more to work with you, which is fine, which they're going to get you more results as opposed to someone who's brand new, who doesn't know what they're doing. Just make sure keep these quantities in mind, right? So next, where can you find these people? All right, so you can find them in many places, mostly online though. So freelance websites, you could use Upwork, Fiverr, onlinejobs.ph. You could do Facebook groups like cold calling jobs. You could look for remote sales jobs as well. And finally, LinkedIn could be used as a last effort, but I don't recommend it. All right, finally, you could use referrals. So I'm just going to show you one of these platforms. It's called onlinejobs.ph. It's mainly used for hiring VAs, but you could use it for cold calling as well. As you can see, we have did a test here on this platform. We have submitted, we got like 21 applications, which is not quite true, right? Because within the application, we asked for the prospect to send a Google form, so they mainly just submitted through there. There were some people who just still send the application. Either way, so as you can see, this is our generic hiring template, which we use for basically any type of VA, any type of appointment setter, any type of cold caller, you name it. So this is generally how it looks, right? So this platform, as you can see, we hired a few people. We're actively testing a few. As you can see, we have 4 people who are good to go. So how this platform looks, I'm not going to go too in depth into this because there's so many platforms out there, but basically this works like this, right? So they can enable show time proof. So this allows you to just check how much they work, and they're going to send screenshots. They're going to send you videos. You can see what day they did what. And obviously, you know, if the work doesn't get done and they send you some screenshots, it doesn't really help your case. But the one thing I like about this platform, we're not affiliated with them or anything, but you pay $70 one time and you can post 3 jobs, or you can do it, I think, for free, but you cannot hire the workers. So that's the problem. And you can have 200 applications as well. Once you post a job, it's instantly approved. Otherwise, for the free one, it's 2 days. And you can also use time proof as well. So what it means is, realistically, within 1 month, you can just pay this. You pay $69 one time, and then you can hire as many people as you like. So you can hire 5 cold callers, and then you cancel the plan, and you can still use time proof the next month, right? Because you have already hired them. So that's really the point of this site. And what you could do is, again, just post a job and do something like what I've shown you. You could put the title, employment time, description. I'm going to give you a hiring template as well, like a little bit later down in the video. Or if you're just interested in that, it's going to be the first link in the description. There's no opt-in or anything. You can just download it absolutely for free. But basically, you can just fill this out based on the recommendations I'll give a little bit later down. So again, this is just how it should look like, and you're going to get a whole bunch of messages. You're going to get a whole bunch of people just telling you, okay, sure. You can see the application points. So if someone sends you like 10 application points, they're more likely that they resonate with the role. If somebody sends like none, like as you can see, this guy sent none, he doesn't really care about it. And you can just click and check, and then you can always hire them. So you can see what is happening here. This guy sent 30. I send them a next step. You can send them the qualification form. That's generally what I recommend. All right, getting into it. So hiring process. So obviously first step is just you need to post the job listing itself. So I've just given you a quick example. Obviously, if you want the exact template, you could just come here and you could just take that as well. All right, so this is the template that we used. And if you want like the exact like job description and title, you can just pause the video and just get something along this line. If you just want like the job description, obviously like come up with something on your own, because your case is probably going to be different. But if you want, you can just screenshot this and just write something similar to your case. But I'm going to give you like an exact form on what you should do once you have posted the job, so you can screen the applicants, which is going to be at the bottom of the document, which I'm again going to link in the description, the first link. So just post something like we're hiring cold callers, or you could do a little bit more complex, like we do here. Obviously go into more details what you do, but generally you need to screen the applicants after you get the applications in. And what you should look for is, again, this, just copy and paste. This works really well. We have tested this. You don't really need to ask anymore. So basically the gist of it is, can they work in US time zones? Obviously, if you're calling in the US, if not, just change it. Are they something they're passionate about? This you can screen, generally like their work ethic as well. Give you real life examples of, you know, disciplined, what they've been disciplined to. That's a good question as well. And finally, just like a quick 30-second selfie video. If they cannot submit this, if they send like a 3-minute video, instantly disqualify them because they cannot follow simple tasks. So just make sure they fill this out properly, right? And again, these are like the information that you should collect if you're not using our form. This is just a quick sum up. But if you want like the exact one, it's at the bottom of this description. All right, then we need to conduct the interviews themselves. So you can come here. There's a test assignment which we'll use just after you have conducted the interviews. But first you need to say you have 10 applicants and you like 3 of them, right? So just make sure you conduct an interview with all of them and just ask them these questions. So what is your experience like with cold calling? How do you handle objections? Can you share an example of a successful cold call of yours? What motivates you to this role? Are you comfortable working in different time zones? So generally, if they can answer these well, if you like the answers they give, just give them the test assignment. Before finalizing hire, assign them a test project, right? So make a set number of calls. I recommend them to do at least 1,000. That's what we do. If they can book a couple meetings within that, which they should, then you can hire them. I recommend you to do 1,000 test calls with them, 1,000 desk dials. Just give them a sheet that they can dial from, give them the software, give them access to everything, and make sure they dial. Give them a week. If they don't dial 1,000 people within a week, it's absolutely achievable. It's not that crazy. It's like $200 a day, because obviously you're dialing on weekdays only. If they don't do it, then you can just disqualify them, move on to the next one, right? Once you have that, log the conversation and the results. Make sure they log it in some sort of tracker. Evaluate their persistence and ability to book appointments. So that just basically means if they cannot book 2 calls at least, or 3 calls out of 1,000, don't waste your time on them. And here's the assignment, right? So you could just do this. You can basically put here things you'll need, like a Skype login. If you're using Skype for cold calling, you put a leads list, like 300 leads. You can share some Calendly links. I recommend you obviously to schedule them in once they agree on the meeting. Company service, just share your company name, your offer, website, just more information, right? Just fill this out and just give it to them. That's it. All right, once it's done, let's move on to training. So provide them with the cold calling scripts for different scenarios. All right, so teach them objection handling as well. You can role play. So this, again, if once you hire them and onboarded them, just spend a little bit more time, introduce them to your CRM, your call tracking, again, set the KPIs. If they're not following your, say, 1,000 calls every single week KPI, and they're not booking 5 meetings, or after 2 weeks, if they don't hit the KPI, just let them go. It's fine. You could be attached to them. They might be like a totally good person, and you could have fun conversations with them, but at the end of the day, if they don't deliver results, unfortunately, you have to move on to the next one, right? So you have to keep business and personal and just connections out of it, right? So all right, finally, you could do something like conduct mock calls to just improve their ability as well. But in terms of training, just generally, I recommend like a beginner script like this that you give to them. If you want this script as well, I'll just link it in the description. This is what we use in CropReach. You can analyze it. You can see what it's about. This is just for our cold callers. It works well. It works really well. So out of 200-300 calls, you shouldn't have any problems booking like 1 to 2 appointments, right? So absolute cold calls. If someone can do that for you per day, you should be booking like 1 to 2 calls every day. If you have 5 of these people, you're booking like 5 to 10 meetings just from this, and you're paying them only commission based. So I'm going to show you again how to do it. So now we made it to the compensation structure. So you have really 3 options. So this is what I said at the beginning, and this is the title of the video as well. So you could do commission based, you could do pay per appointment, you could do hourly pay. I recommend you to do pay per appointment. So something like 10 to 30 bucks per call. You pay them only if they book a call. You can pay them only if the call confirmed, if they showed up, if they're qualified. You can always like improve this. Or you could do commission based, which is per each deal closed. If your sales cycle is short, then this could work. So if they book a call on Wednesday and then you have a chat with the prospect on Friday, and if it's a 1 call close, then you see instant results, that's fine. But if it takes like weeks or months, don't do it. They're not going to work on this, at least well, right? So you're not going to track the right time. You could do hourly pay as well, or you could do like generally the best type of people want an hourly pay as well as an appointment fee, but you can get away with pretty good people just on performance based, so just an appointment. All right, so finally, just make sure you track the people's like call volume, make sure they're fine, make sure they're kept within KPI, and conduct a weekly performance review with feedback on their sessions. Are just some final thoughts. So hiring and training a skilled caller can significantly boost your outreach, and by following this structured approach, you can ensure high quality talent that just consistently delivers. So next steps, if you want to do something like this, just post a job listing and start collecting your applicants. Finally, just screen them, onboard them. If you need any help, here's the documents here below. I'm actually going to link this as well for you. So if you need some specific cold calling scripts, I'm going to have it right here for you. And if you need a cold call script, I'm actually going to link this one as well. So it's going to be here in the provide calling scripts. So if you just click this, it's going to bring you here. So here you have a script that's proven, that works. This is what we use. You can just customize it for your offer, for your solution. And if you need help with the form example or the test assignment, there's examples there below. And again, I'm just going to show you the job overview listing, so you can just copy something like this on your own that you can post on these platforms. So all right, with that in mind, this is exactly how you can hire performance only cold callers that actually get you results, and you only pay them once they have delivered. One thing just to keep in mind, like some of these platforms like onlinejob.ph, I think it goes against the terms of service if you want to hire them just on performance basis. But you can obviously talk with the candidates just to make sure everything's fine. Just keep this in mind. With that in mind, everything's going to be linked in the first link in the description. So if you need this document that I've gone over today, it's going to be the first link. There's no opt-in, nothing like this. Or if you just need help implementing this yourself, or you want to talk with our team about it, you can just book a call with us below. It's going to be the second link in the description. So with that in mind, I'll see you in the next one.